For over 300 years, the Galactic Council had friendly relations with Earth, a planet of unusual beings called humans. Though humans were physically weaker than most species in the galaxy, they had proven themselves useful friends through their creativity, quick thinking, and surprisingly good diplomatic skills. Earth sent regular messages, shared cultural works, and worked on science projects with countless alien worlds. Then, without warning, Earth went silent. Commander Zix Valar of the Rixilian Commonwealth stared at the communication panel. Worry moved through his tentacles like electric shocks. The panel showed nothing but static where Earth's signal should be. For 14 days, no messages had come from the blue planet. Any answer to our calls? Zix Valar asked. None, Commander, replied Lieutenant Pex. All channels remain silent. Our watching stations near the sun report no outgoing signals at all. Across the galaxy, similar scenes played out. The Hive Directorate, the Meridian Alliance, the Vortan Empire, all tried desperately to contact their human friends. Emergency meetings were called. Military ships were sent toward the sun. Trade deals that needed human goods began to fail. For the first time in galactic memory, diplomatic panic spread through space governments. No one wanted to say the truth. They had grown to need humans. On 4, the Galactic Council Station, Ambassador Krell Norath from the Saurian Confederation hit his scaled fist on the table. This is not normal. No advanced civilization simply goes quiet without warning. Could it be a technology failure? Suggested Ambassador Ali of the Luminous Collective. Not possible, replied Chief Scientist Morlax. Even if their main communication systems failed, the humans have backup networks. Something very bad must have happened. In a locked room, Council Intelligence Officer Drev read secret reports with growing worry. Earth's silence wasn't just a diplomatic problem. It was potentially terrible. Human inventions had become part of galactic infrastructure. Human talkers had stopped 3 species wars in the last 10 years alone. Human art had sparked cultural growth on dozens of worlds. And then there were the rumors, whispers that humans were far more powerful than their friendly behavior suggested. That Earth's military abilities were deliberately shown as less than they were. That humanity had backup plans no other species could imagine. As Council worry grew, a small research ship was sent to Earth under the command of senior researcher Thalia. Her mission: find out what had happened to humanity and whether it posed a threat to the galaxy. The research vessel Stellar Inquiry came out of faster-than-light travel on the edge of Earth's solar system. Senior researcher Thalia gathered her team on the bridge. Security Officer Krav, a tall Tauran with heavy body, armor, xenobiologist Dr. Lumi, a delicate photosynthian, tech specialist Vex, a cybernetically enhanced mechoid, and cultural liaison officer Neri, a shape-shifting morphin who had spent years studying human customs. First scans show Earth's living. Systems intact, reported Vex, his mechanical eyes processing data streams. No sign of planet disaster or war. Yet no messages or ship movements, Thalia noted. We'll approach carefully. Our mission is watching only. As they moved through the solar system, the mystery grew deeper. Earth's space stations looked working but empty. Defense systems remained off. Moon colonies showed life support working, but no life signs. It's as if they simply left, whispered Dr. Lumi, her glowing skin pulsing with concern. When they reached Earth orbit, the team was shocked. Cities stood intact. Power systems worked. Air and water systems ran normally, but scans found no big human presence. I'm finding scattered life signs, Vex announced. Small groups widely spread out, about 40,000 humans total. That's not possible, gasped Neri. Earth's population was 8 billion. After careful thinking, Thalia allowed a landing party. They chose a spot in the area humans called Colorado, where a small group of life signs was found near an underground facility. The team went down in a quiet shuttle, landing in an open space surrounded by tall green plants. The air was clean, birds sang, small animals moved through bushes, a healthy ecosystem. Spread out defense formation, ordered Krav. Stay alert. They hadn't gone far when they met their first human. A woman stood watching them, holding what looked like a simple gardening tool. She showed no fear, only mild curiosity. "Hello," she said simply. "We've been expecting visitors soon. I'm Olivia Grant. Please follow me." The aliens looked at each other in surprise before carefully following Olivia through the forest to a hidden entrance in the hillside. Inside was a surprisingly advanced facility where about 50 humans did various tasks with calm efficiency. A tall man with gray hair approached them. "Welcome to Outpost 42. I'm Dr. Alan Winters, Facility Director. I understand you have questions about Earth's silence." "Where is everyone?" Thalia asked. "What happened to billions of humans?" Dr. Winters smiled gently. "That's a long story. But perhaps I should start by saying, this was always part of the plan." In the council chambers far across the galaxy, panic continued to grow. Reports came in from trade outposts. Human goods had stopped flowing. Military listening posts reported all human defense satellites had gone dark. Intelligence networks found that human representatives had quietly closed their embassies and left alien worlds in the weeks before the silence. "This is not a natural disaster," stated High Admiral Zorax of the Meridian Defense Fleet. "This was coordinated." The council chamber erupted in shouting. Some called for immediate military action. Others demanded patience. Elder Mix, oldest member of the council, raised a gnarled hand for silence. When the room quieted, the ancient alien spoke. Slowly, each word weighted with centuries of wisdom. "We face something unprecedented," Elder Mix said. "In all galactic history, no species has ever vanished. Particularly not one as engaged with galactic affairs as humanity. We must consider all possibilities." "Including hostile intent?" asked Admiral Zorax. "Yes," admitted Elder Mix. "Though, it seems unlikely. Humans have been peaceful allies for centuries. They had ample opportunity to harm us if that was their goal." Ambassador Elie's light form flickered with agitation. "What if they were attacked by an unknown force, something beyond our known space?" A chill fell over the chamber. The thought of an unknown threat powerful enough to neutralize humanity was terrifying. "The research team will report soon," said Council Chair Drelks, trying to restore calm. "Until then, all species are advised to review emergency protocols and strengthen defenses. This session is adjourned." As the delegates filed out, Elder Mix remained seated, staring at nothing. An aide approached cautiously. "Elder, are you unwell?" "I am troubled," replied Elder Mix. "I have lived long and seen much, but I have never seen a species with the potential of humans. If they are truly gone..." The aide waited, but Elder Mix didn't finish the thought. Some fears were too great to voice aloud. Far away, on Earth, Dr. Alan Winters led the alien research team deeper into the facility, ready to reveal the truth that would shake the galaxy's understanding of humanity forever. Dr. Alan Winters led the alien team through the underground facility. The walls were smooth and white, lit by soft lights that seemed to come from nowhere. Humans worked at stations with screens showing star maps and data feeds. None seemed surprised to see aliens walking among them. "Please sit," Dr. Winters said when they reached a large round room with a table in the center. "I know you have many questions." Thalia and her team sat cautiously. The chairs adjusted to their different body types automatically. "Where are all the humans?" Thalia asked again. "Our scans show only 40,000 on the entire planet." "Doctor?" Winters nodded. "That's correct. We are what you might call caretakers. The rest of humanity has moved on." "Moved on?" Security Officer Krav's hand moved closer to his weapon. "Explain." A woman entered the room carrying a tray with drinks. She had dark skin and kind eyes. "I'm Dr. Samantha Lewis. I lead our science division. Perhaps some refreshments while we talk? We've prepared drinks safe for all your species." The aliens looked at the drinks with suspicion, but made no move to take them. "We understand your caution," Dr. Winters said, "but if we wanted to harm you, we could have done so already." Dr. Lewis touched a control on the table. A hologram appeared above them, showing Earth and its surrounding space. 2 weeks ago, humanity executed what we call the Exodus Protocol. It was the culmination of 200 years of secret planning. The hologram zoomed out to show thousands of massive ships moving away from Earth in all directions. These vessels carried 7.96 billion humans away from Earth, she continued. Each ship holds 1 million people in sleep chambers, with crews of 10,000 awake at any time to run the ships. Impossible, tech specialist Vex said. We would have detected such a massive fleet. The energy signatures alone would have been visible, Dr. Winters finished for him. If we used conventional technology, Dr. Lewis changed the hologram to show a complex diagram. 70 years ago, we discovered what we call dimensional shifting. Objects can be partially moved into another dimension, making them undetectable to normal sensors. The alien team looked at each other with disbelief. You're claiming humanity has had this technology for decades and kept it secret from the Galactic Council? Thalia asked. Yes, Dr. Winters said simply. Just as we kept secret our true population numbers, our military capabilities, and our long-term plans. Cultural liaison. Neri leaned forward. Why? Earth has been a valued member of the galactic community. We shared technology, culture, and we appreciated that, Dr. Lewis said. But humanity has always been restless. We needed more than what known space could offer. Dr. Winters stood and walked to a wall that became transparent, revealing a view of the Rocky Mountains. From our earliest history, humans have been explorers. We crossed oceans in wooden boats. We climbed mountains no one had climbed before. We went to our moon in ships made of metal so thin you could punch through it with your hand. He turned back to face them. When we joined the galactic community, we gained much. But we also lost something precious, the unknown, the frontier. So humanity abandoned Earth to find new frontiers? Dr. Lumi asked, her luminescent skin pulsing with confusion. Not abandoned, Dr. Lewis corrected. Earth remains our homeworld. We 50,000 volunteered to stay behind, to maintain our relationship with the galactic community, and to care for Earth's ecosystems. Where did the ships go? Thalia asked. Dr. Winters touched the hologram controls. The view expanded to show regions of space far beyond Council territory, to stars no Council species has visited, to planets we've observed from afar but no one has touched, to build new colonies without the constraints of existing treaties or borders. Krav stood suddenly. This is an act of war. The Council will see this as a threat. No, Dr. Winters said calmly. It's an act of freedom. We're not claiming territory that belongs to anyone else. We're not breaking any specific treaty. We're simply moving. With technology you kept hidden, Thalia pointed out. Technology that gives you military advantage. Technology we never used against anyone, Dr. Lewis countered. We could have conquered. Instead, we chose to leave. The aliens fell silent as they processed this information. Finally, xenobiologist Dr. Lumi spoke. The ecological impact of removing 8 billion beings from a planet would be enormous. How have you managed it? Dr. Lewis smiled, seeming pleased by the question. Very carefully. We've spent decades preparing Earth's ecosystems for our departure. Automated systems maintain balance. The 50,000 of us monitor and adjust as needed. Dr. Winters pressed another control. The room's ceiling became transparent, showing the blue sky above. Earth is healing from the pressures of supporting such a large population. Forests are expanding. Wildlife is returning to areas long dominated by human cities. And what now? Thalia asked. What do you expect the Council to do with this information? Accept it, Dr. Winters said simply. Continue relations with Earth, but understand that we are now a different kind of human world, a custodial world rather than a population center. The Council will want access to your dimensional shifting technology, Krav stated. That won't be possible, Dr. Lewis said. That technology remains classified, but we're prepared to offer other benefits to maintain good relations. Before anyone could respond, an alarm sounded. A young man rushed into the room. "Dr. Winters, we're detecting multiple ships entering the solar system. Council military vessels." Dr. Winters didn't seem surprised. "Right on schedule." The panic response. "You anticipated this?" Thalia asked. "Of course. We ran thousands of simulations of how the Council would react to our departure. This was the most likely scenario." He looked at Thalia directly. "This is where you have an important choice to make, senior researcher." "What choice?" "Whether to report accurately what we've told you, or whether to recommend military action against Earth." The tension in the room grew thick. Krav's hand was now openly on his weapon. "Are you threatening us?" he growled. "Not at all," Dr. Winters said. "But you should know that while humanity has departed Earth, we haven't left it unprotected." "Doctor," Lewis changed the hologram again. Now it showed small objects in orbit around Earth. "Automated defense systems, capable of repelling any attack. Non-lethal options are prioritized, but lethal force is authorized if necessary." "And," Dr. Winters added, "the Exodus fleet remains in communication with Earth. They would return if needed." Thalia studied the humans carefully. "You're asking us to help prevent a war." "We're asking you to report the truth," Dr. Lewis said. "Humanity hasn't disappeared. We haven't been destroyed. We've simply evolved beyond the constraints of a single world." "And what do we tell the Council about why you kept all this secret?" Neri asked. Dr. Winters smiled sadly. "Tell them we learned from history. Every time one species reveals advanced technology to others, they become targets. We chose a different path." Thalia looked at her team members one by one, seeing their reactions, then back to the humans. "We'll need proof of what you've told us, data we can verify." "Of course," Dr. Winters agreed. "Dr. Lewis will provide everything you need." As they left the conference room, Thalia walked beside Dr. Winters. "There's something you're not telling us," she said quietly. Dr. Winters stopped walking and looked at her with surprising intensity. "Many things, senior researcher, but none that threaten your people or the Council. Humanity seeks new horizons, not conquest. Remember that when you make your report." Outside in Earth orbit, the Council military vessels approached cautiously, weapons ready, uncertain what they would find on the suddenly silent world below. Thalia stood on the bridge of the Stellar Inquiry, watching as 5 Council warships moved into Earth orbit. Their weapons systems were active, though not yet targeting anything. "They're hailing us," Vex reported from his console. "Open the channel," Thalia ordered. The stern face of Admiral Jorax appeared on the main screen. His blue skin was darker than usual, a sign of stress in his species. "Senior Researcher Thalia, report your findings immediately. What has happened to Earth?" Thalia chose her words carefully. "Admiral, the situation is not what we feared. Earth has not been attacked or destroyed. The human population has relocated." "Relocated?" The Admiral's eyes narrowed. "Explain." "I request an emergency council meeting, Admiral. This information should be shared with all species simultaneously." Admiral Jorax looked ready to argue, but then gave a curt nod. "The Council is already in emergency session. We will transport you immediately." 2 hours later, Thalia stood before the full Galactic Council. Representatives from all 27 member species watched her with varying degrees of concern, anger, and fear. "Senior Researcher," Council Chair Drelk said, "please share your findings about Earth's silence." Thalia activated a holographic display showing the data Dr. Lewis had provided. 2 weeks ago, humanity executed what they call the Exodus Protocol. Using technology unknown to the Council, they transported 7.96 billion humans from Earth to a fleet of generation ships. These ships have left our known galaxy to explore and colonize worlds beyond Council space. The chamber erupted in shouting. Chair Drelks had to pound his sound staff several times to restore order. "This is impossible," shouted the Vorton representative. "No species could hide such a massive operation." "Humans used what they call dimensional shifting technology," Thalia continued. "It allows objects to exist partially in another dimension, making them undetectable by our sensors. How long have they had this technology? Asked Ambassador Ali. Approximately 70 years. More shouting filled the chamber. When order was restored, Admiral Jorax spoke. This must be seen as a hostile act. Humanity has violated the technology, sharing treaty by hiding this capability. Not exactly, Thalia countered. I've reviewed the treaty. Humans agreed to share technologies related to medicine, agriculture, and basic propulsion. Dimensional shifting falls outside those categories. By technicality only. Jorax slammed his fist on his console. Elder Mix raised a gnarled hand. When he spoke, his voice was soft, but carried throughout the chamber. What of Earth now? Is it abandoned? No, Thalia replied. 50,000 humans remained voluntarily. They call themselves caretakers. They maintain Earth's ecosystems and will continue to represent humanity in galactic affairs. A token presence, scoffed the Saurian representative. This is clearly an abandonment of their responsibilities to the galactic community. Thalia showed more data on the holographic display. The remaining humans have provided these charts showing continued trade possibilities. While luxury goods will decrease, essential resources can still be supplied. At what cost? Asked a trade guild representative. Will they demand higher prices now that they're a smaller production force? Actually, they're offering lower prices on most goods, Thalia said, surprising many in the chamber. They say with fewer humans, Earth's resources can be harvested more sustainably. Council Chair Drelks looked troubled. What are humanity's intentions toward the Council now? Do they still consider themselves members? Yes, Thalia confirmed. But they're requesting a status change from primary civilization to custodial outpost. They will maintain diplomatic relations and honor all defensive treaties. And what of these billions who have left? Asked Ambassador Ely. Where exactly have they gone? Thalia showed a star map with several routes marked in different colors. The Exodus fleet separated into 12 main groups, heading to different regions beyond known space. Humans provided these general vectors but not specific destinations. Admiral Jorax studied the map with a military eye. These paths could be false. They could be positioning for an attack on Council space from multiple directions. The humans insist their intentions are peaceful exploration only, Thalia said. Dr. Winters specifically said, humanity seeks new horizons, not conquest. Words, Jorax dismissed. We need actions. Guarantees. Elder Mix spoke again. What guarantees did they offer, researcher Thalia? They've left Earth's defense systems active, but set to non-lethal responses where possible. They've also made it clear that the Exodus fleet remains in communication with Earth and could return if necessary. The chamber grew quiet as the implications sank in. Humanity had not abandoned its homeworld. It had left behind both guardians and guarantees. I recommend caution, Thalia continued into the silence. My team observed Earth's defense systems. They are substantial and largely automated. Any aggressive action against Earth would likely result in significant casualties with no strategic gain. Are you suggesting we simply accept this situation? Admiral Jorax asked incredulously. I am suggesting we adapt to it, Thalia replied. Humanity has not attacked us. They have not seized territory claimed by any Council species. They have simply moved. With technology that could threaten the entire Council if weaponized, Jorax insisted. Technology they've had for 70 years and never used against us, countered Ambassador Ali. The debate continued for hours. Some representatives demanded immediate military action. Others called for economic sanctions against Earth. A few suggested waiting to see what the remaining humans would do. Finally, Elder Mix rose slowly from his seat. The chamber fell silent out of respect. I have lived through 3 galactic conflicts, the ancient alien said. Each began with fear and misunderstanding. Each ended with regret. He looked around the chamber. Humans have surprised us, yes. They have kept secrets, yes. But in all our dealings with them over centuries, they have never initiated aggression against any Council species. He gestured to the star map, still hovering above the chamber floor. They could have used this technology to conquer. Instead, they chose to leave, seeking empty spaces where they would conflict with no one. That's what they claim, muttered Admiral Jorax. Indeed, Elder Mix nodded. And now we must decide if we take them at their word and continue peaceful relations, or if we let fear drive us to actions we may regret. Council Chair. Drelks looked around the chamber. We will vote on 3 possible responses: military action against Earth, economic sanctions, or continued diplomatic relations with the remaining human population. The voting took less than 5 minutes. The results appeared on all screens in the chamber. Military action, 4 votes. Economic sanctions, 8 votes. Continued relations, 15 votes. The Council has decided, Chair Drelks announced. We will maintain diplomatic relations with Earth's remaining population. However, he added, looking at Thalia, we will require regular inspections to ensure the human exodus is truly peaceful. The humans anticipated this, Thalia said. They've already agreed to welcome Council observers. As the session ended, Thalia was approached by Admiral Jorax. His expression was still stern. You've convinced the Council today, researcher, but I remain suspicious of humanity's true intentions. Noted, Admiral, Thalia replied. But consider this. If humans wanted conflict, they had the perfect opportunity. They could have simply disappeared without explanation, leaving us to panic and perhaps fight among ourselves. Instead, they left behind representatives and opened their facilities to us. Jorax's expression didn't change, but he gave a small nod before walking away. As Thalia prepared to return to Earth with the Council's decision, she wondered what Dr. Winters would say when she told him the news. Somehow, she suspected he had already predicted the outcome perfectly. 6 months passed since Earth's silence had been explained. Thalia returned to the Blue Planet as the newly appointed Council ambassador. Her ship landed at what had once been the Washington spaceport, now transformed into a garden-like landing area with trees and flowering plants surrounding the landing pads. Olivia Grant waited for her at the edge of the landing area. The human woman wore simple clothes made of natural materials, her hair now longer than when they first met. Welcome back to Earth, Ambassador Thalia, Olivia said with a warm smile. Dr. Winters is looking forward to meeting with you. As they walked through what had once been a bustling city center, Thalia was amazed by the changes. Buildings stood empty or had been repurposed. Gardens grew where roads had been. Wildlife moved freely through the spaces between structures. The city is so different, Thalia commented. All our cities are changing, Olivia explained. With only 50,000 humans, we don't need massive urban centers. We're allowing nature to reclaim much of Earth's surface. They entered a building that had once been called the White House. Inside, the formal rooms had been converted into meeting spaces filled with plants and natural light. Dr. Winters was waiting in what had once been the Oval Office. Ambassador Thalia, he greeted her, rising from behind a wooden desk. Congratulations on your appointment. How do you like our changes to Earth? They're remarkable, Thalia admitted. But I'm curious. Why maintain these historic buildings at all if your population is so small? History matters, Dr. Winters said. We may be few, but we are still the caretakers of human heritage on Earth. They sat in comfortable chairs near a window overlooking gardens where deer grazed peacefully. I've come with the Council's first formal inspection team, Thalia said. They'll want to verify your population numbers and confirm that Earth's defense systems remain as described. We expected this, Dr. Winters nodded. They're welcome to inspect whatever they wish. We have nothing to hide in anymore. He smiled slightly. There's also the matter of the new trade agreements, Thalia continued. Some Council species are concerned about disruptions to supply chains that depended on human goods. Understandable, Dr. Winters agreed. Dr. Lewis has prepared detailed production forecasts. We can still provide most essential resources, though in smaller quantities. As they discussed business matters, Thalia noticed something on Dr. Winters' desk. It looked like a communication device unlike any she had seen before. Dr. Winters followed, her gaze. Ah, you've noticed our quantum communicator. Would you like to see how it works? Without waiting for her answer, he touched the device. A hologram appeared above it. showing a woman in what appeared to be the control room of a ship. "Dr. Winters," the woman said, "is it time for the scheduled update?" "Not quite, Captain Kelly," he replied. "I wanted to show Ambassador Thalia our communication abilities. She's the new council representative." The captain looked at Thalia with interest. "Hello, Ambassador. I'm Captain Kelly Wright of the generation ship Hope's Horizon. We're currently about 20 light years from Earth, heading toward the Sagittarius arm." Thalia was stunned. "You can communicate instantly across 20 light years?" "Quantum entanglement," Dr. Lewis said, entering the room with a tray of drinks. "Another technology we developed but kept to ourselves. Distance doesn't matter. The connection is instantaneous." "How many ships are you in contact with?" Thalia asked, trying to mask her shock at this revelation. "All of them," Dr. Winters said simply. "The entire Exodus fleet remains connected to Earth and to each other." Captain Kelly's hologram smiled. "We've established our first colony, Ambassador. A beautiful world we've named New Terra. Would you like to see it?" Before Thalia could answer, the hologram changed to show a landscape of rolling hills, strange, trees with purple leaves, and a settlement of simple buildings. Humans worked in fields and walked along paths between structures. "This is live," Captain Kelly's voice explained. 3 million humans have already awakened from suspended animation to begin building our new home." The hologram returned to showing the captain. "I should go, Dr. Winters. We're preparing to wake the next group of colonists." "Thank you, Captain," Dr. Winters said. "We'll speak again at the scheduled time." The hologram disappeared, leaving Thalia staring at the device. "The Council doesn't know about this communication technology, does it?" she asked quietly. "No," Dr. Winters admitted. "And we'd prefer it remain between us for now." "Why show me?" "Because trust must begin somewhere," Dr. Lewis said. "We're sharing this with you as a gesture of good faith." Dr. Winters leaned forward. "The Council fears we've abandoned Earth or are planning something hostile. This proves neither is true. We remain connected to our people, but our focus is on building new worlds, not threatening old ones." Thalia considered this. "The military representatives on my team would see this technology as a threat." "Which is why we're showing only you," Dr. Winters said. "As ambassador, you must decide what to share with the Council and what to keep in confidence." It was a test, Thalia realized. A test of whether she could see beyond her duty to report everything to the Council. "You're placing me in a difficult position," she said finally. "We're placing you in an important one," Dr. Lewis corrected. "A position to help prevent misunderstandings that could lead to conflict." Before Thalia could respond, alarms sounded throughout the building. Olivia rushed into the room. "Dr. Winters, we have a situation. A Vortan warship has entered Earth orbit and is not responding to communications. It's activated weapons systems." Dr. Winters remained calm. "It seems some in the Council are not satisfied with diplomatic inspections." "What will your defense systems do?" Thalia asked urgently. "First, they'll attempt non-lethal deterrence," Dr. Winters explained. "If that fails, they'll disable the ship's weapons. Lethal force is only authorized if the ship fires first." "Let me talk to them," Thalia said. "This could be a misunderstanding." Dr. Winters nodded to Olivia, who activated a communication screen. The face of Commander Zorth, a Vortan military officer known for his aggressive tactics, appeared. "Commander Zorth," Thalia said. "This is Ambassador Thalia. You are violating Council protocols by entering Earth orbit with weapons active. Please stand down immediately." "Ambassador," Zorth sneered. "We're conducting our own inspection. The Vortan Empire is not satisfied with the Council's acceptance of humanity's story. Your actions risk creating a diplomatic incident," Thalia warned. "We're prepared to take that risk," Zorth replied. "We intend to learn the truth about human technology, one way or another." The screen went blank as Zorth cut the communication. Dr. Winters touched controls on his desk, bringing up a display showing the Vortan ship in orbit. "What will you do?" Thalia asked him. "Watch," Dr. Winters said calmly. Small objects appeared around the Vortan ship, defensive drones deploying from hiding places in Earth orbit. They emitted no energy signatures Thalia could detect, but the Vortan's ship suddenly went dark, all its systems shutting down at once. "We've disabled their ship temporarily," Dr. Lewis explained. "No weapons fired, no casualties. They'll regain minimal power in about an hour, enough to return home but not enough to threaten Earth." Dr. Winters looked at Thalia. "Now you've seen our defensive capabilities in action. Will you report this to the Council?" "Yes," Thalia said firmly. "The Vortans violated Council directives. They must face consequences." Dr. Winters smiled. "And our communication technology?" Thalia hesitated, then made her decision. "I'll report that humans maintain contact with their Exodus fleet. But the details of how, perhaps those can wait until trust is more firmly established." Dr. Winters nodded, seemingly pleased with her answer. "Now, let's prepare to welcome your inspection team. There's much more of the new Earth to show you." 1 year had passed since Earth's silence had first alarmed the galaxy. Thalia stood in the grand chamber of the Galactic Council, delivering her annual report on Earth's status. Representatives from all member species listened with great interest. "Earth continues its transformation," Thalia explained as she showed holographic images. "The human caretakers have restored vast natural areas. Wildlife populations have increased by 40%. Former cities are being carefully dismantled or converted to nature preserves." "And the human population?" asked Council Chair Drelks. "Stable at 50,000, Thalia confirmed. "They maintain minimal settlements and focus primarily on environmental restoration and diplomatic relations." "What of the Exodus fleet?" asked the Meridian representative. Thalia showed new images. "According to reports from Earth, 17 colonies have been established on planets beyond Council space. The humans estimate their total off-Earth population has now reached 8 billion, with more awakening from suspended animation each month." The chamber buzzed with quiet conversations. Elder Mix raised his hand to speak. "Ambassador Thalia, you have spent more time on Earth than any other Council representative. In your assessment, does humanity pose a threat to galactic peace?" Thalia considered her answer carefully. After the Vortan incident, relations had been tense. Several other unauthorized attempts to probe Earth's defenses had been made, all ending with ships disabled but crews unharmed. "Based on all evidence, I believe humanity's focus is genuinely on their new frontiers," she said finally. "They maintain Earth as a link to their past, and to us, but their energy is directed outward, not toward Council space. Yet they refuse to share their dimensional shifting technology," noted Admiral Jorak, still suspicious after a year. "As is their right," countered Ambassador Ely. "Many Council species maintain proprietary technologies, none that could render an invasion fleet invisible," Jorax muttered. The debate continued, but with less fear than before. Time had shown that the remaining humans kept their promises regarding trade and diplomatic relations. Earth remained open to visitors and inspections. No aggressive actions had been taken. When the session ended, Thalia prepared to return to Earth. Her shuttle was boarding when Admiral Jorax approached her. "A moment, Ambassador," he said, his tone more respectful than in previous encounters. "Admiral," Thalia acknowledged. "I've been authorized to tell you that the Council Military Command has officially classified humanity as a non-hostile power." He seemed slightly uncomfortable. "Your reports have been helpful in this determination." Thalia was surprised. "Thank you for telling me, Admiral. I'm sure Dr. Winters will be pleased to hear this." Jorax nodded stiffly. "There is one more thing. A personal question, if I may." "Of course. Do you believe them? Truly? That all they want is to explore new worlds?" Thalia thought about her many conversations with Dr. Winters and other humans over the past year. "Yes, Admiral, I do. Humans have a deep need to discover, to push boundaries. It's fundamental to who they are." Jorax considered this. A strange species. They could have conquered with their technology. Instead, they simply left. "Perhaps that's why they've survived so long," Thalia suggested. "They know when to walk away." Back on Earth, Thalia found Dr. Winters waiting at the landing area. Now in his 70s, he moved more slowly, but his mind remained sharp. "Welcome back, Ambassador," he greeted her. "How was the council session?" "Productive," Thalia replied as they walked toward a small electric vehicle. "The Council Military Command has officially classified humanity as non-hostile." Dr. Winters smiled. "Only took them a year. That's faster than we predicted." "You're still running those simulations?" Thalia asked. "Always," he admitted. "But I have something more interesting to show you today." They drove through what had once been the city of Washington, now a lush forest with only the occasional building visible among the trees. They stopped at a large circular structure that hadn't been there when Thalia left 3 months earlier. "What is this?" she asked as they entered. "We call it the Connection Center," Dr. Winters explained. He led her into a vast round room with a domed ceiling. In the center was a platform surrounded by advanced technology. "It's finally ready." Dr. Lewis was waiting inside, her hair now streaked with gray. "Ambassador, perfect timing. We're about to make the first public connection." "Public connection?" Thalia asked. "Yes," Dr. Winters said. "Until now, our communication with the Exodus fleet has been limited to text and small holograms. This facility allows something more." They took positions around the platform. Dr. Lewis activated the systems. The air above the platform shimmered, and suddenly people appeared, full-sized, three-dimensional projections of humans, standing as if they were actually there. "Dr. Winters," said a middle-aged woman at the front of the group, "can you hear us clearly?" "Perfectly, Governor Chen," Dr. Winters replied. "Allow me to introduce Ambassador Thalia of the Galactic Council." The woman turned to Thalia. "Ambassador, I am Governor Linda Chen of New Terra Colony. With me are representatives from 16 other human colonies." Thalia was amazed by the clarity of the projections. "This technology is remarkable. It's why we invited you here today," Dr. Winters explained. "The Council has classified humanity as non-hostile. In return, we wish to extend an invitation." Governor Chen nodded. "We would like to invite Council representatives to visit our colonies, not just through this communication system, but in person." Thalia was shocked. "You would allow Council ships to travel to your new worlds?" "Selected representatives only," clarified another human, a man with dark skin. "I am Director Peter Nash, of Horizon Colony. We propose a diplomatic exchange program. Your representatives visit our worlds and our representatives visit Council worlds. This would require revealing your travel routes," Thalia pointed out. "Some of them," Dr. Lewis agreed. "Not all, but enough to build trust." Thalia looked at the human representatives, both physical and projected. "Why now?" Dr. Winters smiled. "Because isolation was never our goal, Ambassador. Humanity left to find new frontiers, yes. But once established, we always intended to build new bridges." "We are explorers, Ambassador Thalia," Governor Chen said. "But we're also builders of connections. It's time to connect our new homes with the wider galaxy, carefully, thoughtfully, but openly." "The Council will have many questions," Thalia warned. "Security concerns, technological implications." "Of course," Dr. Winters acknowledged. "We expect negotiations to take time. But this is the first step." As the meeting continued, Thalia realized she was witnessing something historic. The humans hadn't fled the galaxy in fear or anger. They had simply needed space to grow, to expand. And now, having found that space, they were reaching back. Later, as she prepared her report for the Council, Thalia thought about how wrong everyone had been when Earth first went silent. The silence hadn't been an ending. It had been a pause, a breath taken before speaking new words. The humans like to use a phrase, "This isn't goodbye, it's see you later." Perhaps that was what the Exodus had always been. Not a retreat from the galactic community, but a new way to engage with it, from a position of greater strength and wider perspective. As night fell over Earth, Thalia looked up at the stars. Somewhere out there, billions of humans were building new lives on new worlds. and they had chosen her to help reconnect them with the civilization they had seemingly left behind. Earth's silence had ended. A new conversation was beginning.